Welcome back to the Foxy and Family channel. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, Foxy and Family, for my Foxy and Family stars. Hello, Foxy and Family stars. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Subscribe, like, and share. Menopause. That is the question. Hello, Foxy and Family Stars. It's your girl Foxy, and I'm back with another lit video. So I was thinking about what could I talk about. So I was thinking to talk about let's talk about something that a lot of women do not like to talk about, and that's menopause. So let's talk about menopause today. I'll just give you a little backstory. So um, like in 2003, I was having issues and I would have fibroids. And you know, when you have fibroids, you can do one, two things. You can either go to the doctor and they can scrape them off and they can remove them, or you know, 9 times out of 10, they will be coming back and they'll come back bigger. So, I was like, okay, I was having issues. It was just a lot going on. So I was like, okay, so why not just, go on and just do what we need to do. So my doctor suggested that I get a partial hysterectomy. Now, with the partial hysterectomy, you get, like I said, a partial. So what they do, they take out your womb and your uterus, but they leave your um, tubes. They leave your fallopian tubes in there. So you won't spiral into menopause or anything like that. So you can still have all the estrogen that you need to flow through your body for you to function, what females do, because we have to have that going through us. So, tell you, so the first time I went in, it was in 2003, and it was very interesting because in 2003, I had my surgery on August the 13th. August the 14th, that's when we had that blackout that hit from Detroit all the way to New York. That major blackout. It took out, and I'm just going to read it for the paper because I had to go back and remember that. I'm like, oh my God. So it was like 50 million people from Detroit to New York in the dark. About 50 million people lost power on August 14th, 2003. And I will never forget that because my Uncle Charlie came to see me that next day when I was in the hospital. He had just stepped off the elevator from seeing me, and this whole everything shut down. So it was just like we knew that, and then it was like wow. But see, by being in the hospital, the backup generators popped on for all the major things and stuff like that. They need to work. But can you believe that it was 50 million people? And then this is what the interesting part of it is that it was said that when a tree branch in Ohio started an outage that cascaded across a broad swath from Michigan to New England and Canada, a tree branch in Ohio. I'm just going to leave that right there for you guys to ponder on that one because a tree branch knocked out its whole entire grid from Michigan through New England to Canada, all up in there, all on the East Coast, from us to the East Coast. So let's leave it right there. So that's when I first got my first one. So I was fine, move ahead, a few years. So then it was like, what happened? So after a few years, I started feeling I started getting these pains and stuff like that again. So what it was is that at this time my fallopian, my tubes had got a little bit inflamed and it was like, okay, I don't need those, so let's just take those out. So I went to the doctor. The doctor, so they prescribed me to go into the hospital to get this surgery removed. So mind you, there's different kinds of procedures that you can do when you get a hysterectomy now or get partial, whatever. You got different ways you can do it. So one of the ways it's going to do it for me, for them to remove my tubes, was to do robotic. So the robotic is that the doctor's actually, she's controlling the machine, so the machine go on there and they just do whatever they're going to do. So how they do it, they give you three little cuts. They give you a slit you on each side right above your tubes, and they put one in your navel, so they can put the thing in there and wrap the things out and snatch them out more than likely. So, mind you, I am under. They go in to get my tubes out. They found one, and they couldn't find the other one because from my first surgery, I had built up so much scar tissue from the first surgery that it had encased the other tube. It was wrapped in so much scar tissue they couldn't go in and just take it, so they had to stop the complete surgery and bring in a whole new team for them to do what they call it's surgery. It's surgery, but this one I was having major because they will have to literally just cut me open. So what they did, they cut me open from the the cut I had that I got in 2003. They just cut right on top of it. There was so much scar tissue. That's how the only way they can get that tube out of there. And it was crazy because when I was talking to the doctor, she was like, I had so much scar tissue that it was wrapped around my tube, but also it started to wrap around one of my bowel intestines. So you got to be careful if you are one of the type of people that would get scar tissue after surgery. You know, it's gonna, that's what happens. So I can't always have some type of surgery like that. So if I want to go get a tummy tuck, I wouldn't be able to do it because I would build up so much scar tissue that it wouldn't even matter for it to do that one, because they would have to go in and scrape away all the scar tissue first for them to do what they got to do. So, you know, but anyhow, so that's what happened. But mind you, the funny part, now that was serious. Now I'm about to try to get through this part because every time I think about it and we talk about it, I get so tickled. I'll be just, oh my gosh. So I wake up in the room. Now, who went to the hospital with me was my husband and my mama. So my mom and my husband went with me. So apparently, when you at the hospital, they got your name on this monitor, so they can tell you that, you know, you're in pre-op, you in the operating room, and you in recovery. So while I was in the operating room, my name disappeared off the board. And my mother, they said my mother panicked like, oh my God, where'd the name go? What happened? What happened? So you know, they went and found out that the nurses, the people at the desk was like, well, you know, sometimes the names come off if they be in surgery longer than what they're supposed to be in there. So they didn't know what was going on. So finally they came out and told them that they had to stop the one part, bring in a whole new surgeon team in to do the other part of the surgery, you know, to cut me, to get the rest of how they to finish off the rest of the hysterectomy. So by this time, you know, my mom was freaking out. And, you know, I wish I could have been in the lobby to see all that because I know it was hilarious. But then when I woke up from my surgery in the room, the only thing I remember, mind you, I mean, I'm up on all kind of drugs. They didn't knock me out. The girl had good anesthesia. I woke up and I'm like, oh my God, well I can't move because I should have been able to. I should have been just to get up and just move a little bit better than what I was. I only had like the two little cuts. It wasn't even stitches. It was like some steri strips. That's it, you know. But I had those, and then my husband gonna lean over and look me in the face and gonna say, "Babe, they cut you from the Rudy to the Tootie." I couldn't laugh at the time, but every time we talk about it, I'm on the floor in tears. 'Cause I'm like, seriously, that's the words that he can use. I was like, babe, they didn't cut you from the Rudy to the Tootie. So okay, so moving on for that, cause you know, if anybody know my husband, know he low key is just funny. Okay, so just getting back to the serious part. So you know, while I'm in there, you know, I had to stay a little longer than what I would have stayed if I was just had the other part of the surgery done. So I stayed a couple more days, and so while you're in there, they give you these pumps. So they put these pumps inside your in your stitches, you know, like these tools that go right into your incisions, and they have morphine drip in it. Your girl couldn't take the morphine drip. I was itching, stuff was crawling, so they had to undo the morphine and give me Benadryl. So when they give you Benadryl in the hospital, you just be out. So people come seeing me, I was up there looking crazy. I was just like, okay, I don't know what's going on. Then I knew I was itching. So long story short, they took care of me. I get home, I'm good, you know. Get home, can't barely walk and move around like they make you get up and walk like that next day. That I had to get up and walk, which was fine, you know. They gave you the little band to put on, the stomach band, to hold your all your stuff in tight so you can move around and walk because that's the most important thing for you to get up and walk. So I get home, you know, I'm having a hard time. I would tell you this much. If you ever have to have any type of surgery where they go cut on you and it's going and you have to go to the bathroom, I suggest you drink a lot of prune juice when you get home because baby, that's all I can say. It was not pretty. Just say your girl was just stuck for about an hour and a half in tears. Can't talk about that one. So let's move on. so for me to give you that backstory, that's when I was talking about the menopause part. So normally when women go through menopause, they be between like 45 to 55, you know, somewhere in that range. It all depends on your family history and where you go to. Mind you, I was like 40, I must have just turned 45 or something like that. So the doctor said I hadn't had any signs of going into early menopause. So I wouldn't have did menopause till I was like 50 something years old. I spiraled down. Immediately went straight into menopause. But when they take your tools from you, you have all your estrogen going, you know, to help your body balance. So at this point, my body was unbalanced. So I spiraled down. Even though I was taking the medicine for them to help me go through it, you could only be on that medicine for so long. So when I say your girl spiraled into menopause, it was bad. So I went from having the hot flashes to the night sweats to can't sleep. It was a very mood changes. It was ugly. So that's what I went through after having surgery. Now move ahead a few years when I got into my 50s, I went through it naturally again. So I went through it twice. So I went through it. My body just automatically went through it. So that's just something that, you know, women, let's just see what we can do about it. So there's all kind of stuff they say you can take. I did the black cohosh. I did everything, you know, changed my diet, try to figure out how what this will help for me, you know, and it's to the point where that's why you can't sleep at night because you could be in a sleep and wake up and you just be drenched. So in the wintertime, your girl had to sleep with a fan and the window open, and it's not a pretty sight when you have to do that. You know, you feel for your partner because they just try to understand what you're going through, and you just gotta you gotta understand what you're going through. Because your mood swings are just horrible. You just one minute you just like, hey, I'm happy go lucky, and that minute you be like, you don't know what you're crying about because your mood swings are so crazy. So what I would suggest is that do your research, ladies. Research about what would work best for your body. And when I finally found what I need to do to make sure it worked for me, it works for me, because it have to be where, it's going to be good for your body. I had to go through a lot for me to figure out what worked for me, because it was nothing as fun as that you still have to talk to somebody and you doing something, also you just break out in a sweat because you flashing. There's nothing you can do about it. You just get hot and your whole face is flushed and you just go through it. So luckily, I'm probably like at the tail end of all of it, so it's not as bad. I sleep a lot better at night now. Um, I do. I did have to get prescribed sleeping pills because of the menopause, because I wasn't sleeping too well, and I had to make sure you go to sleep. But I'm not the type of person like take a lot of medicine. So what I did, I just really basically did my research. I changed my diet, and I sleep better at night when I do that. Okay. So I just thought it was important that we came on there and I just talked about that. I was like, man, this is something deep, you know. And so if anybody got any comments to say below, let's have a discussion on this, because it's something that women, is natural, it's normal. So guys, hey, I'm telling you, if you down for your chick, you will go through a lot of stuff with her and you will help her out, because baby, my husband is a G. Because the stuff I put him through, going through this, and after them surgeries and him helping me out with a whole lot of stuff, I don't know if I could have made it if he wasn't there understanding, because I know it was plenty of days he probably just wanted to just put me in a closet somewhere and lock the door and turn out the lights because that's how bad it was sometimes. So, but so I just wanted to come on and talk to you about that and just give you that backstory. And then you know your body, you know what's going on, and it's now they try to avoid hysterectomies because they're saying that it should be other ways to take care of certain things. If you have to have it done, do not suffer because having fibroids is true, is real for us women. It's not nothing pretty about going through that and you being that kind of pain. It's not fun. And even till this day, even though I don't have that, I still get where um, I might have that feeling or I might get a little twinge in there because see, remember I got scar tissue. So my scar tissue sometimes hardens up on my little belly. I got a bikini cut and it sometimes it hardens up and I can feel it when if it's there. So just take care of yourself, ladies. It's all about self-care. Do your research. Do your research and see what's good for you because before I really had all them surgeries, I researched it and I had to do what was good for me. And at that point, that was good for me. See your girls. Oh, let me pop right in. See your girl got her new glasses on. What you think? What you think? New glasses. Okay. I can see y'all so much better, my Foxy Stars. I just don't know. I can see y'all really good. So, just just do your research, ladies. And I think, and there's so many groups out there now that they help you go through it and just give you some advice. And everybody's different, so you just gotta find out. You just gotta figure out what works good for you. What works good for you. So I think that's all I have today. But I thought the interesting fact was that that blackout, August the 14th, 2003, almost 17 years ago. 17 years ago that happened. And all because a tree branch fell in Ohio. Yeah, see, I paused on that one because, okay, really, a tree branch knocked out an entire grid. And I do remember that. And one thing I have to tell you guys, I was mad because my mom and them called me and told me, well, we was gonna come and see you, but we gotta cook all this food. They didn't had a cookout. They cooking all the breakfast food. Everybody coming outside. They got the breakfast food going on the grill. They grilling everything out the refrigerator. I'm in the hospital with a crying because it was so hot because they couldn't have the air on inside the in the hospital. And I once again little morphine drip, and I'm itching and sweating. I'm like, oh my god! So they had to. I was like, can somebody please bring me a back scratcher, or something? Can you help a sister out? Can I get some ice chips? So so okay, but anyway, I thought that would be a little interesting fact. So let's check our history, see what's going on. But ladies, do your research. Do your research. Do not let nobody tell you that, oh, you just being moody. It's a reason why you being moody. It's a reason why behind everything. Not because you're just going through, because your body is changing. We're changing. And that's what happened. So, Foxy and Family Stars, my Foxy Stars, I will be back. I thought this was a good platform, so you never know what I might come on and talk about next. So, it's all about, I might just do a series on self-care. There you go, self-care. This is what it's about. Know yourself. Care about yourself. Ladies, do your research. Men, understand. Because you got to be a tough OG to be there to go through what we go through and to see us go through it. So, as always, I will be back with another lit video. And you never know what I'm going to do for my Foxy Stars. And as always, from my family to my Foxy and Family Stars, I love you guys. Mwah. Don't forget to subscribe. Click the notification button. Comment. And I will be back. Love you guys. Mwah.